Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Jerry Royce, and welcome to the Positive Power 21 Network with Uncovering Mr. Right, My Love Story. Please sit back, relax, release, and enjoy this presentation of Uncovering Mr. Right, My Love Story. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Uncovering Mr. Right. I'm your host, Jerry Royce. And tonight on my show, I have Shalise. She is from Baltimore, Maryland, and she's on the show tonight to tell us about her Mr. Right. So we're going to entitle this show, The Love Story with Shalise. Hey, Shalise, how you doing today?
Hey, how are you doing today, Jerry?
I'm doing great. I had a nice day today. We, of course, it's holiday time. The agencies, corporations are celebrating and showing their appreciation to their employees. So I got a chance to eat a lot of free food this week.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
How about you? How's your holiday coming around so far?
Everything is lovely right now. I'm in good spirits. I did my Christmas shopping. I started pretty early, and as well the agencies and a lot of organizations are having a holiday party, so it makes the morale work pretty good for the most part.
Absolutely. We need that morale building because tough times now, but we are lucky to have a job.
Absolutely.
We are blessed. All right, now tonight we have you on the show, Uncovering Mr. Right. I know you haven't had a chance to browse our website because right now it hasn't been fully launched, but some people have been able to go out and check out the party line and some of the other segments that's going on with one-on-ones. And basically the love story is about you and your Mr. Right. Now, there's a lot of young ladies out there is struggling. They're meeting bad men. They're meeting some good guys, but the guys might be a little boring, and they feel like they want to move on. So a lot of people are not appreciative. They don't understand what's going on out there right now, just maybe among their little circle. Because, sometimes your girls don't always encourage you to hang in there.
Yeah,
if they don't have nobody, they ain't going to be happy for you because they don't have nobody. And it's funny how friends work, but, hey, that's just the way it is right now.
You learn. You live and you learn.
Right, that's right. Now, before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Shalise?
Okay, I'm a recent graduate from the University of Maryland. I just recently graduated and got my master's in business administration. I currently work for the federal government, and as you said earlier, I had my Mr. Right.
Good. So you're a very successful young lady. You have 2 degrees. You got your Mr. Right. Now tell us, how did you meet your Mr. Right?
In college. I met my Mr. Right in undergrad. I was a freshman, he was a sophomore, and he was one of the students that didn't come to class so frequently. And his last name happened to follow my last name, so I sat in front of him in class. And he would always tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, can you take notes for me?" I was more of the student that just went to class. I didn't have too many worries, but he was more of the responsible student who worked while he was in college. So he had to work, and I was able to go to class and still enjoy college life to its full extent. So, just being kind and generous, nothing taking nothing out of it. I took notes, gave notes, and that's pretty much how we met. And that was back in I want to say 2005. 2004, excuse me. He was a sophomore and I was a freshman in college. I had just came into college at the University of Maryland College Park. And that was years ago. And then I seen him maybe 2 years ago, around 2011. It was just a coincidence. We were out at a nightclub in D.C. and I was with a group of friends and he was with his friends. And we bumped into each other and was like, "Yay, I remember you from college." But it was no more conversation after that. It was just I remember you from college type thing. It was cool. Then it's like it's a sequence of events. So following that, we kind of started noticing each other on Facebook. Because, when you're in college, you just add a whole bunch of friends on your Facebook. Some you may know, some you may talk to every day, some you don't talk to anymore after college, and so forth. 2011, we're both finished college, so we weren't really, keeping in touch with each other. So when we bumped into each other, we started, looking at each other on Facebook, like going through each other's pictures and stuff like that. And then we kind of relinked on Facebook. I put a status up on Facebook. He liked it, commented, and then we just started chatting from there, and that's how we pretty much linked back up and got into a relationship.
Wow, wow. I think you may be like our fourth guest who, well, you kind of already knew him, but the social media kind of helped pull everything together, right?
Yes, it did, and it especially for us because at the time he was deployed in Kuwait, and I had
Wow.
no idea he was deployed. Um, the only thing that kept my attention was somebody that I didn't see physically was the conversations that we were having. So it was more of an intellectual conversation, and I was like, wow, this guy he's quite different from the rest of
Hmm.
them. And my mother always told me that I knew I would find my Mr. Right the day I met someone that would give me a challenge. So
Wow.
at the time, I was still a little skeptical because he could have done like any other guy. So I just
Hmm.
gave the gave we conversed and gave him conversation, and we just chatted back and forth. And it's important to me to encourage people and keep them keep their spirits up. So he's over in Kuwait, he's deployed. I'm just trying to be positive towards him, and I guess he liked that. So that's how we pretty much linked up and got together.
Good, good. That's incredible. Wow. So, I mean, people are using the internet like that now. I mean, it's becoming. I mean, it's different. I mean, when you talk about, the older generation, we did it the old-fashioned way. You met the person through somebody,
Yeah,
school, work, or whatever. Now with the laws the way they are on the job, you can't really even flirt with nobody
right.
because just like young ladies, you guys do put up the defense first, like
Yeah,
you did. I mean, at first you knew who he was through school, but still you were still skeptical.
yeah,
That's good. Wow.
yeah.
So just
And
imagine on a job. So if a guy's trying to do that on a job, he's gonna be sitting down in HR trying to explain himself, right?
absolutely. But to me, I feel like just from a professional standpoint, I don't agree with relationships at work. It just makes the work scene a little different and the dynamic a little different.
Yeah.
So that's just my personal preference. So it was a even if it was like a small business type atmosphere and the HR wasn't as strict as it is and like maybe a more developed organization, I still wouldn't really be interested in working with someone that I consider dating unless it was someone I was dating initially and we started a business together or something like that. But um,
Hmm.
I'm not really into dating coworkers. It's just too much. Now,
Yeah.
with everything going on in the economy, people have so many stress factors. That's just one less stress factor we do not need at work. So,
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how some people do it. They eat lunch together all day, then they see each other at work. Then you gotta go
yeah.
home to that person. I mean, sometimes you just need a break.
And then you
You
have
know,
people in your business, and I mean, it's like, when do I ever get a break from, something? So,
yeah, and
yeah.
people all in your business, and people it's just like if your girlfriend's going to start something, a stranger or a coworker really going to instigate something.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. And, I mean,
you know.
it's like that even if you just have a friend and the friend, you just tell the friend a little bit about your situation. And like any relationship, you go through ups and downs. And like you said, sometimes you have people that's genuinely happy for you, and then sometimes you have people who, um, they don't really want to, or maybe they're in denial about their happiness for you. So they
Yeah.
may seem like they're happy for you, they may act like they're happy for you, but deep down inside, it's some feelings that maybe they can come, get in tune with and help them understand why they feel so way. But I've experienced it, so it's not a fun situation, and sometimes you don't want to believe that your friend that's acting so that way towards you. But in reality,
Mhm.
that's just life. That's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it
And
is. It's a shame, but that's the reality of it all.
yep,
All right, so Mr. Wright, he's educated. He has a good job. I take.
yes,
And you mentioned he was in the military, so it shows he's responsible for defending his nation. He committed it, and he's out there, and that is fantastic.
yes.
Now, how do you cope? When he's not around. I mean, now when you guys are first now, when you guys started dating, were you around each other almost 24/7, or you were still, you had your distance because of the job?
Well, when we first started conversing, like I said, he was in Kuwait, and then that probably took place for maybe 3 months before he physically came back to the States.
Wow.
And yeah, so for about 2.5, 3 months, I just kind of kept him updated with my life and what was going on, and he kept me updated with his life and what was going on in Kuwait, and his next goals. I'm a goal oriented person, so I like to hear
Mhm.
what you have planned for the next couple months. Realistic goals that you might set for yourself, because that lets you know as a person that you're getting things done with your life. So just
Yeah.
um saying what's going on with his life and what's going on with my life and looking good for me and what's looking good for him. So we did that for about 2.5, 3 months, and then he comes home. When he came home, he invited me to a welcome home party, and I was like, I don't really want to be around your family just yet. Because at this point, I'm still trying, still a little skeptical. I mean, the conversation was great, but it's different when you meet a person in person. So you still want to make sure you're comfortable with the physical person, not just the
Right.
conversation. So
Yeah.
for like I would say for another 2 months after that, we just maybe went out maybe 2 or 3 days, not many days, but we just maintained that conversation. And I was busy with
Mhm.
school. I was busy with school, and he was busy with the things that was going on in life. Coming back home and trying to get things settled, and what was next for him after deployment. So in the beginning, I wouldn't say we were around each other 24/7. We were
Right.
still in that learning phase of who we are, and what we like about each other and what we dislike. So just still trying to find a common ground for the both of us. So I wouldn't
Wow.
say
You
it was the
you
beginning.
tough. You play hard to get.
Well, it's not that I play hard to get, but it's like I'm 27 years old. I'm at an age in my life where, first I want to make the comment that I'm not really into at 25 she is, at 30 she is. I'm not really into that. I'm a firm
Mhm.
believer in God, and I feel like everything will happen on His time. So
Right.
with that being said, I pray about everything, and if he opens my eyes up to see something that I should go out there and get, then I go out there and get it. If he don't see fit for it, then it's just gonna happen. And I do believe that everything happens on this time. And it's not that I
Mhm.
play hard to get, but it's just that when you reach a certain peak in your life, for instance, like I said, I work for the federal government, and depending on your security clearance, they want to know who you're dating and what background that person has. So as you get
Mhm.
older, a lot of things are more important as opposed to when I was in college. I was maybe 18, 17. It was just out of fun. But as you get older, a lot more things matter. So not
Right.
it's not really playing hard to get, but at the same time, it's making sure you set your standard, you know what your worth, and saying that that person is worthy of your time. In a sense.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cause you're putting a lot of time and effort into this relationship. You want to make sure what you're investing is going to be worth. And I can understand. I respect that. I see it on your point, and
Right.
it's a good one. I hope my daughter's the same way. I really hope
And it,
so.
and if it's a good man, he will feel the same way as well. He won't feel like it's just you playing hard to get. He'll feel like he's a good catcher as well. So I think it will be on
Mhm.
both ends. So I don't feel like it's a challenge for both people. It's not fun for someone who's really not up to your level, up to par with the situation. But for someone that's just as good as you are, then I don't think it would be. I think it would be a challenge for both of you guys. I don't think it would be nothing that he couldn't handle or that I couldn't handle. So
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is a great story. A great story. Now, what were the guys like that you was dating before him? I mean, did it really matter? I mean, you would just say, "Hey, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm in college. It's not gonna go nowhere anywhere." So, what type of guys were you attracted to in the beginning?
When you asked, did it matter in what terms? Like, in what sense? Did it matter if I was interested in him, or did it matter if,
Right. Yeah. If
oh,
you were interested in, right, you just say, "Hey, I'm just hanging out, having a good time."
um, well, I never really dated the same kind of guy. I think everybody was different in a sense, but it didn't matter to me. I knew that I was focused on myself at the time. But if there was any one person that showed me they were worth my time, and sense like, well, maybe we could take it to the next level. Because I feel like when you're dating someone, you should be dating, with a purpose. Other than that, some people call it, just talking or just messing around.
Yeah.
However you put it, those are some kind of those are things you establish with that person. And you need to make sure it's very clear and cut, because that's how people get their feelings hurt. You think it's one thing and the other person is saying it's another thing. So for
That's
me,
true.
yeah, so for me, it was never. I mean, men other than I may have been like, okay, we'll just be friends, or we'll just go on dates, or something like that. But it never really mattered. It's my current boyfriend. He's what showed me, this is what matters. So like when he introduced me to something else, then that's when I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, maybe he's the one. And then I knew he was the one because I started I started learning more about myself in ways that I never thought in terms of being a woman and a woman I should be for my man. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can look at your parents, you can look at other marriages, and you can see how you know your mother treats your father, or how this person treats this person. That is different when you're in a situation yourself. So you have
That's
somebody
right.
that can help you grow as a person. And that's probably a person that's good for you. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, prior to my boyfriend, it wasn't. I didn't really. I don't think I ever gave anyone the time to try to help me grow. And I just wanted to have someone to talk to, but I wasn't really looking for a boyfriend at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And,
That's
yeah, and
that's
to be
something.
honest with you, when I met my current boyfriend, I wasn't looking for a boyfriend at the time. And my best friend, she asked me, she said, "So when is the time?" And I'm like, well, I mean, when it happens, it happens. And I don't
That's
think
right.
I ever was looking. I think it came upon the situation just came upon, and it's been great. That's so
Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
Well, Shalise, sounds like you got a good head on your shoulder. You know what you want. You got your Mr. Right. We wish you guys the best.
Thank you,
Any
thank
merge
you.
plans right now? Are you guys
if
talking about
if
that?
you if you
You
heard
know.
you say this, you're probably be like, oh man. Actually, that's funny because we go back and forth, and we talk about it, and then we go kind of shy away from it, and then we talk about it, and then we'll shy away from it. But he tells me all the time like, I want to make you my wife. I want you to be the mother of my children. Perfect. In that order, that's perfect. you know, uh,
Yeah.
marriage first would be awesome. I don't have any children now, so that would be good.
That's
Not
right.
not to say anything's wrong with, someone who had their children out of wedlock, but for someone, a man to say that to me, I think that's awesome. And it
That's
shows
right.
where his head is. But I just want to say I give us a little bit more time. Well, from the time he came home from his first deployment and to the time he went back to his second deployment, we only had
Hmm.
6 months together to really be around each other. So that it's been a struggle because it wasn't a lot of time. So we've been doing the best we could with him being deployed
Yeah.
down. So just give us a little bit more
Yeah.
time, but I'm very hopeful of the situation.
Good. Good. Right. Just give it time.
Here I
And
am.
you sound like a very patient person.
Yeah.
Now, we can ready to close out the show. So, you have any advice for any young ladies out there still waiting? Some of them are a little older than you, and they still haven't found that guy yet.
Yes. From a young adult, I love advice all the time too, especially from YC. But just some things that I live by. I read a lot of books about women of excellence, and women that's the queen to the king and everything. I just, my advice would be just remember as a woman, you're God's gift to a man, and um, never use your body as a tool to fulfill his lust. I just feel
That's
like
right.
I don't think you should use your body to fulfill his lust, but you are God's gift to a man. And if you don't know your worth and being a woman, you're truly missing out. And I just say, um, get online and look for some local nonprofits, organizations that are out there to help encourage women, or read blogs where people give
Hmm.
advice all the time. I know for me, I talk to a lot of my older coworkers, a lot of married people, but the path that you're willing to go is, I think, it's best if you look for someone that's in a successful path and you get advice. But yeah, that's my advice will be just to know and believe that you're God's gift to a man. So you have to believe you're worth what you deserve. So if you believe you
Hmm.
are worth what you deserve, I do believe that you will get that in return. And I think everybody deserves to be happy. So
That's
that's
right. Well put. Well put.
that's a little bit of
Yeah.
advice that I can give.
That's, that's right. Oh, very, very good. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank
Well,
you.
that's Shalise from Baltimore. She has her Mr. Right. She has uncovered him. and she laid it down to you, ladies. And hey, I say follow those very words, and you can't go wrong. I'm Jerry Royce, and this is Uncovering Mr. Right. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Bye bye.
That ends our presentation, and thank you for joining us at Uncovering Mr. Right, My Love Story. Please visit us at uncoveringmrright.com, separated by hyphens. This has been a Royce Enterprises production. Also join us at positivepower21.org, where we get positive. Thank you for joining us, and have a great evening.